Welcome to a special Jace Media Music video interview. I am your host, Justin Smolison, proud Jace contributor from across the pond. I am delighted to present an interview with this gentleman right here, Mr. Ben Jackson of one of the great prog metal groups of all time, Crimson Glory. Their brand new album is Chasing the Hydra, which is available worldwide from our friends at Brave Words Records. You are hearing a clip of the title track off of this fantastic album. It's 9 tracks, all killer, no filler. And Ben and I are going to talk all about it. We're also going to discuss some of the singles and what it was like to bring on the new singer, Mr. Travis Wills. We're also going to take a little bit of a stroll down memory lane and talk about the classic album Transcendence and the underrated Astronomica. And then we're going to talk about what it was like for so much time, about 28 years or so, passing between Astronomica and Chasing the Hydra. What's changed, what hasn't, and why the future is looking bright for this fantastic group. It's also worth mentioning that on June 5th, Crimson Glory will be hosting a Bandcamp listening party, so go to bravewordsrecords.bandcamp.com on June 5th at 1 p.m. Eastern and chat with Ben and Travis about the new album. Get a chance to hear it, ask them whatever you want, but keep it clean. We will also discuss Crimson Glory's upcoming tours, which begin on June 12th in Spain, and that's going to take them through Europe through August, and then they'll be back in the U.S. in September. We're going to put all those dates up there. They're over here as well, but we're going to post them later. Don't worry about it. So there's so much to discuss. I'm super excited to share this interview with Ben Jackson. So, Jace Media Music audiences worldwide, please welcome one of the founding guitarists and members of Crimson Glory, Ben Jackson. Well, I am delighted at long last, crossing some things off my bucket list today to speak with Ben Jackson of Crimson Glory. They are back with Chasing the Hydra. It is such a pleasure to meet you, Ben. Welcome.
Thank you. Pleasure to see you.
Yes, and I'm going to get my gushing out of the way. We've got the classic Transcendence right there. We've got one of the underrated gems, Astronomica, right there. And Chasing the Hydra is blowing up. People feel like it was worth the generational wait for it to come out. How you feeling about it?
We're feeling really good about it, too. It has been a long wait, but we've been really dying to get back to it. We've been away for a while, and finally Dana and Jeff and I just came to the conclusion that we really needed to bring this band back, and we're having a great time with everything.
Yeah, and you've got some tours coming up in Europe starting in June. And yeah. How does Crimson Glory fare in Europe? You got a nice solid fan base there that's very receptive?
Yeah, very much so. We're very lucky that we've always had a great fan base there, and they really hung out and waited for our return because, we left them with nothing for so many years. And now that we're back, they're very warmly embracing us again. So it feels fantastic. We're very happy.
You were doing a sprinkling of shows here and there ahead of Chasing the Hydra. Was that just to get the motor memory back?
Yeah. And when we announced the band was coming back, we released a new single, and really that's all we had recorded at the time. We wrote 2 new songs when we discussed bringing the band back, and one was Triskaideka, the other one was Indelible Ashes. And we recorded both of these songs right away before we even had a whole album written, because our idea was when we told everybody we were back, we wanted to also say, and here's a new song, so people wouldn't just think we were blowing smoke about it. We're like, we're back, and here's a new song. So we put out Triskaideka as a single the day we announced the band had a new singer and a new guitar player. And then after that, we just started getting busy doing appearances at festivals with the 2 new members. And like you said, just getting our skills back in the live sense while we were also working on composing and completing the rest of the record, which has been about a 2-year process.
Yeah, because I would think if I'm in Crimson Glory, I've got stacks and stacks of recordings just stockpiled somewhere that you want to go through and dig out. Am I wrong on that, or was it a complete clean slate?
It was a clean slate, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't really have a lot of ideas and stuff from old, of just laying around or old riffs from back when we were working on things and parts left over from the old days. Everything just freshly created for this album.
Yeah, and what
There's no ideas that were laying around from before. Everything was just mind stormed, brand new.
really?
And I
And
give
so
Jeff a lot of credit. He wrote a lot of the songs, and Travis co-wrote a lot of the songs with Jeff. They Jeff's a power writer. He writes a lot of material. He's got a little home studio where he just and hides away and works his ass off all the time. So, and I co-wrote a couple songs on the album too. So it's been a lot of fun.
yeah, Jeff actually, is one of the I don't know, he's like one of the unsung heroes of metal bass, in my opinion, and,
I
uh
agree.
yeah, I mean, he there's a song I don't wanna jump too much, but I think my favorite moment of all of his is on Astronomica. There's a song called the 2nd song, New World Machine, and that to me was just like
Yeah,
yeah, the bass is it's not the lead, but it is
it's a
prominent.
slam.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just right there, and, we'll talk about that again in a moment. Um, what was the process like for you to work with a new singer? Did you know Travis personally, or did you run in the same circles before you joined the group?
No, we never did because he lives over in Dallas, Texas, and
Ah,
he's the singer of a band called Infidel Rising, and he's sang with a few other projects, Millennium, and he's a very busy guy over there in his own scene, his own world. But Jeff knew him through Facebook, and when we talked about Dana and Jeff and I talked about bringing Crimson back, we're like, "Who are you gonna get to sing?" And we talked to a few other guys before Travis. His name was brought up. But
mhm,
eventually Jeff brought up Travis, said, "Here's a guy we should probably also look into," and we did, and just turned out to be a really super fit for us. So we sent ideas that we had recorded for the 2 newest songs, like I mentioned, to Travis, and he did some vocals in his own home studio, went back, and we went back and forth and got these 2 songs completed, mixed and mastered, and released them, before we ever even met Travis in person. We hired him in
wow,
the band without ever even meeting him, and we even created and put out the first 2 songs without ever even meeting Travis. It wasn't until we had the announcement made that he was in the band and we had a new song out and started planning our first live date at Keep It True Rising in Germany that we brought Travis over to Florida for some rehearsals for the live date, and then we actually realized that, wow, what a great personality this guy has. We all actually get on very well. So
yeah,
that's a plus.
excellent. So, a lot of groups are doing that these days. They do
Yeah.
auditions through the internet, privately, of course, or sometimes they just put a public call out there. They put an APB out and they get all sorts of
Yeah.
submissions. Um, that must have been an eye-opening experience for you, right?
I think it's a little unusual way to do it. I think, like you say, a lot of bands probably meet potential members or singers from other places and get the ball rolling through messages or mailings of sending back ideas back and forth. But you would think before you actually hire the guy, maybe you would fly him in and meet and have dinner and see what everybody like.
Right.
But in our case, yeah, we actually hired Travis, announced him as the new singer, and released new material before we ever even actually met him. So
Wow.
it's kind of an unusual little twist,
And
but,
safe to assume he's a cool dude?
he's a very cool dude, yeah.
Okay,
Very,
because
very caring person, he's always, no ego like most lead singers have, he just doesn't display any ego at all, just a real kind heart, team player,
right.
perfect band member.
Excellent. Yeah, because you could have been stuck with a real jerk. You don't know. You never know, right?
You never know, you really don't, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I'm a fan also of one of your former singers, Wade Black, and he was the singer on Astronomica. He now has Wade Black's Astronomica. I've spoken to him a couple of times. From what I can tell, there's only positivity between him and the Crimson Glory camp. Everything's cool, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We've
Yeah.
all remained friends through the years, and, since he was in the band back around '99 and 2000, that we kinda fell apart after that, but there's been a couple times where he's come back and sang with us again on occasions, and there's been times when him and I have done, some recorded things together, and we even He joined my band on a tour back in 2018 when my solo band was going over to Europe to do some
Oh
club
yeah.
dates. He came along and sang with me, so we have a great friendship. It carries on for sure.
Excellent. Because I would have thought, I mean, as a fan, but somebody, I'm not, I'm not embedded in everything Crimson Glory all day. I would have thought, while you were kind of in between coming back out and coming back, that Wade might have come back. But it seems like it's best for everyone that the friendship remain, and then you just go your separate ways professionally.
Yes, I think Wade's out there doing his thing and he's making records and they sound amazing. And
Yeah.
I think maybe we were compelled to try someone for this new rendition of the band that had a little more in common with Midnight style,
Yeah.
which is kind of why we chose Travis. And that takes nothing away from how great Wade is.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So
He's
let's.
got a little bit of a different style, and maybe we wanted someone this time that was a little more that could bring out the nuances of more the way Midnight did things.
Yeah. Because he's credited as one of the great rock metal frontmen who was just gone way too soon. And do you
Yes.
feel? I've spoken with other groups who have unfortunately lost members along the way, and they still feel those lost members' presence in studio or live. Do you still feel Midnight's presence every once in a while?
Sure. Yeah, definitely. He's
Yeah.
always, at the tip of our minds, and he was such a great friend and person and musician and creator and just a great artist. And of course, we never forget him. He's always in our minds, so he's with us.
Yeah.
We talk about him a lot. We tell old stories, and he's part of it.
Yeah, sure. Now,
Yeah.
when it comes to the new album, Chasing the Hydra, I'm glad that you released Beyond the Unknown as a single. If you call it a single these days, I don't know if it's still single.
Yeah.
That's like a really great. I think that encapsulates everything that's great about the past and the present of Crimson Glory. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that one?
Yeah, I agree. It is a real favorite of mine and everybody in the bands. It's just a real good, strong song. It's got a really hooky part in the chorus, and it's probably the closest thing to being almost like pop oriented on the record for me. It's almost the most commercial sounding song.
Yeah.
Not as much as maybe Lonely was on Transcendence, but yeah, it has that kind of vibe. It's just it's not as dark as some of the other songs. It's a little more like uplifting in a sense when you listen to it. Very heavy, but it carries a really good vibe with it about exploring the unknown and diving into the future. Great song, definitely one of my faves, and it's a lot of fun to play live.
Yeah, and so you are playing, you're busting that out live on the new shows.
Yeah, we've been doing that live. We just did it live when we played over in Mexico last couple weekends ago. We only did 2 songs from the new album at that show because we had a limit to that, but we did do Beyond the Unknown.
Nice. In the heart of darkness. I can't hear the notes, but you get the idea. You get it.
It's catchy, isn't it? Yeah.
Extremely.
It's in your mind.
And your singers have always needed to hit those notes very, very cleanly. I feel like, Midnight was probably he might have created the template for it, I would say. But Travis is doing it in his own way. He's not a Midnight copy at all, but he can do it as well. I think that's where I'm going for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a super thing about Travis, because we didn't want a Midnight copy, and he's definitely not. He's the thing that he brings to the table, his own voice and style. As I said before, he can capture the essence of Midnight on the old tracks, and he does it in the new album with certain lines here and there. You'll hear a little thing and go, oh, that's got a little Midnight-esque kind of vibe to it. But he doesn't overdo it. He doesn't try too hard. He's really just being himself.
Now, when Ben Jackson writes, do you need to be alone, locked away in a room in darkness? Or do you need to be surrounded by people that you like, that you can write with so that you can get the juices flowing? How do you do it?
Usually it is when I'm alone. Maybe sometimes I sit down to just play and I start, messing around and things just kind of come. I've
Yeah.
always said that it's not like, for me anyway, I don't really sit down and say, I need to write something today. Let me sit down and see what I can come up with. You can't really force ideas, at least for me. Sometimes they're channeled from somewhere. They just come to me. Sometimes I'm just messing around the guitar and I just start playing. I've done it many times, even when I'm just tuning the guitar or warming up a little bit. I'll just start messing with it. Next thing I know, I'm going, wow, that sounds like a cool part. Maybe I'll show it to the guys, some point, and we could
Yeah.
weave that into one of the songs. So parts just kind of come, whether I'm alone or even sometimes when I'm with the guys and may show up at a rehearsal. Like I'm just over there warming up or tuning up, and I may start playing something and go, wow, where'd that come from? So the ideas can come from anywhere really, or at any time.
And I'm guessing you just have your phone handy at any time just so you could throw it in there and just bank it for later. Because that's what I know what a lot of musicians do today.
That's what I've been doing lately too, because I don't really have an elaborate home studio, but whenever I'm at home and I'm riffing or something and I like something I might have played, I'll always, like you say, I'll grab the phone, just make a little video of it, save it for later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing about Crimson Glory is you can't just write, oh, here's a cool 4-chord progression that's going to last the whole song. Crimson Glory's got lots of parts, lots of nuances. So
Yeah.
you've got to be, in a lot of ways, you have to have a big picture for whatever song you're going to be a
Yeah.
part of, any Crimson Glory song, because they're all mini epics in their own way. They're all epics in their own
Yeah.
way. They're typically not, how do I say it? They're
And
not Fate's Warning length or Dream Theater length. They're usually in the 5-6 minute range at most, and then you gotta sit back, right?
yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. Our songs yeah, we won't have as many parts as maybe a Dream Theater, but our songs do have a lot of parts and interesting twists in them, so they're like mini epics in themselves, each song, like you said.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is I don't have to sit down when I'm working on a part. I'm not over obsessing about what are all the other parts going to do that follow it. I just kind of like lose myself in that part for a little bit. And
Yeah.
I think if this is something worthwhile as even a small part, maybe I'll send it to Jeff, because Jeff, he really would rather I do that rather than sending him a whole song I wrote.
Mhm.
He'd rather me just send him a part or two that he can like, and think about what he might want to do. And things kind of go like that. A couple times I've sent him, like one time I sent Dana Jeff almost like an entire song arrangement I made. And they're like, well, I don't know if we like that, but send us some other cool parts you got. I'm like,
Right.
maybe I put too much time in trying to make the whole song. It's good that we collaborate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. It sounds more collaborative, even in a time when technology could be your enemy, and distance can be your enemy or your friend. In this case, you're able to make it work. Do you all still live close together? From what I recall, you were Florida based. I don't know if you all are anymore.
Yeah, Dana, Jeff, and myself and Mark, the other guitar player, the four of us all live in Sarasota,
Oh, okay.
Florida. So we're all very here tight together. Our new young keyboard player who joined us last year, his name's John Pyers, and he lives in St. Petersburg, which is not too far away.
Not bad.
So, and Travis lives in Texas. We
Right.
don't wish we could be closer with Travis, but we make the best of it, and everything
Right.
seems to be going fine.
Yeah. Now, are you still the same guy that appears right there? Like, is that still the same Ben Jackson? Do you still have that same drive?
It must be because I'm here.
Did you know years ago that this was gonna change the trajectory of your life?
Um, it's hard to say. I guess so. I think even when the first album came out, I
Mhm.
knew that, but we were young and you never know what the future holds. And then after the first album, it was received very well and we went and did some live things in Europe, and then we put our mind together and said, let's make an album and top that first album. So we went into Transcendence with a real a hard driven mindset of let's make something really good now, and I think we did.
Yeah.
But I don't think we knew at the time that it would be as long of a lasting impact and is such an influential album that would carry on so long. So I think we're happy and lucky that it has that that status, I guess. People still
Yeah,
hold transcendence very high.
that's got to be a great feeling. And then,
And, I always knew even then that I wanted to do this and I would never lose my passion for it. I wanted to be a musician. I wanted to do it for life.
yeah,
But if you would have asked me, hey, if you would have asked me back then when I was 27 or something, do you guys think you'll be putting out a new album in 2026 and still doing what you do and going strong? I'd be like, wow, I don't know. I don't know. So,
right, right. I might be a grandfather by then. I don't know.
well, I am a grandfather,
Oh
but,
well, there you go.
but
Okay, I had no idea. Do you
I have
are your
one grand.
kids cool? Are your kids cool with you being a rocker?
Yeah, I have 2 daughters and a son, and they're all in their mid-20s, and they're all super cool people, and I've always had a great relationship with my kids, like my best friends. They're not really metal fans,
Right.
but they're Ben Jackson fans. I mean, they're very proud of me and everything I've done, and even now when I'm overseas, playing a big festival, sometimes my daughter will, send me a message when I'm get back to the hotel after the gig. I watched you tonight, Dad. You guys are killing it. I'm so proud of you and stuff like that.
Oh,
So
that's
they're
cool.
proud and they pay attention to what I'm doing, but they're not super big metal fans or anything.
All right, that's cool. Yeah, they're along for the ride. They're along for the Ben Jackson ride. That's excellent. I did want to,
Yeah.
yeah. Now I wanted to mention. Now I know you, like you said, you've been active, but this, from what I understand, this could be the very first Crimson Glory listening party on Bandcamp coming up on June 5th. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. And so that's going to be at
Yeah,
1
we've
p.m.
never done
Eastern.
anything like this before. Yeah,
Right.
so it's going to be a listening party where we're going to play the whole record, where people can be there with us and listen and get a full listen for some of the people that have only heard some singles or haven't had a chance to purchase the record, because I don't know if the whole thing is out there, but yeah, we'll be able to sit and listen to it together. Travis and I will be there in the chat, and people can ask us questions about, the making of the record and
Yeah.
everything. So it should be an interesting time.
Excellent. And yeah, because I've done a couple of those as a fan of someone, and it is cool. They play the album, they're there, they're chatting with people. They usually kick things off with "Where's everybody from?" or something like that, just to get the dialogue started. And then it's just a fun hang. You don't see the people, but you can chat with them. And
Yeah.
Bandcamp is my preferred platform anyway, so I think that's a great way.
Okay.
To connect. Yeah, and it's on Brave Words, which has a wonderful team. I know that they are embedded in the metal scene. My friend Giles Lavery is somebody I've interviewed a few times, and I know he was really stoked when this came out. And are you close with the Brave Words folks?
Well, they are our label.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you realize that, but they signed us, and Giles is a good friend of mine too, and Tim Henderson from the label, and I've known Mark Groman for many years, and the guys at Brave Words, and so they reached out to us when they heard we were working on this new record, and they enticed us with a deal, and so yeah, we're working with Brave Words closely on everything.
Excellent. Now, the other question, of course, is, okay, so I was wrong. You didn't stockpile a whole bunch of riffs, but you've got these 9 extremely polished, fantastic tunes that comprise Chasing the Hydra. Will there be a follow-up? That is. I'm sure you've gotten that question before, but I got to know.
Yes, and definitely on that. We're already on that follow-up. We had one extra song for Chasing the Hydra. It was going to be a 10-song album, but some of the time delays, we finally just had to deliver it as a 9-song album. We had an extra song, and we have a lot of ideas already swirling around for the next album. So we're definitely not just here to give one album and say so long. We got another album already in the works, and we've been talking amongst ourselves about maybe for the first time ever putting out a live album. Because over the years there's been a few live things that have popped up with Crimson's name on it, but it's never been anything official with the band. It's always been.
Yeah. No, please continue. Yeah. I'm just
I thought I lost
complimenting you with the photo here.
Yeah. Everything live that's ever surfaced before has been bootleg stuff. So I think it might be cool for us to put out an actual official, band release live album. You know, Plus the band is sounding really great live right now with Travis. It just seems like something we should definitely do is put out a nice live album for the fans.
Yeah, I mean, he certainly earned it. I mean, he was crushing it the night that I saw you last year at the Legions of Metal Festival.
Oh, that's nice of you to say. Awesome.
Yeah. And it was a great. I was delighted to see that you were headlining that night because that was the night that I was there.
Yeah.
And, that was just. I remember looking at it, just going, oh, thank you to the metal gods.
Wow, sorry we didn't get a chance to meet that night, or did we? I don't know.
No, I didn't get a chance to meet you, but there was so much busyness there that I was happy to just kind of sit back and absorb the glory of Crimson Glory, if you know what I mean.
So awesome that you were there, man. We did enjoy Reggie's. It was a fun night for sure.
Yeah, that was excellent.
Hopefully we can get back there someday.
Yeah. Cool. Certainly a cool venue. And
very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So we know that. So you got. I'm just gonna pull up the dates real quick, and we'll just give me a moment. Oh, there we go. All right. So in June and July, you're gonna be all over. June, July, and August, you're gonna be all over Europe. And then September 11th, you got Prog Power back in the U.S. here in Atlanta.
Yes.
And then you've got September 17th, Minneapolis. And then September 18th, Madison, Wisconsin at Blades of Steel. And I am pretty sure that, Prog Power, we know that those are like giant festivals with some real big heavy hitters. Are those old friends of yours? You get that? Is it like a big reunion for you?
Oh yeah, usually a lot of the bands that we may see at Prog Power are guys we've known or had contact with over the years. So for sure, yeah. I mean, if it comes to people like Sabotage and Evergrey and Camelot and bands that we run into like that, we've known all these cats for years. All great guys.
So do you hang around? Like, do you go into the audience to check them out as a fan, or do you get the side view from the stage?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
A lot of times when I'm at a festival, if I'm in the back dressing room and there's a band playing, I may go out and just stand at the side stage and watch for a little while. And then maybe a little later, if there's another band playing, I may just go out into the crowd and just stand out there and watch for a little bit. I like to check everybody out.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let you go in a moment, but like we said, you've got June 5th is where everyone should go to bravewordsrecords.bandcamp.com for the listening party of Chasing the Hydra. You can ask Ben and Travis anything, but keep it in good taste, folks, because Ben doesn't want any of your crap. He wants the good stuff. But no, it's going to be great. Anything else?
Watch your manners.
Mind your manners. Is there anything, Ben, that you would like to say to the fans before you go off on tour around the world and then back here in the U.S.?
Yeah, everyone out there, we just can't wait to see you out on tour and embrace all of you again, play this music with you and just have a great time. Thanks for being there for us all these years and waiting. And we love you fans out there. And we can't wait to go out there and meet you all, see you all again.
Special thanks again to Ben Jackson of Crimson Glory for joining us here today on Jace Media Music. The new album is Chasing the Hydra. It is available worldwide from our friends at Brave Words Records. You heard clips of the title track, Triskaideka, and Beyond the Unknown, all of which are off of this fantastic comeback album for Crimson Glory. Remember to visit the official Crimson Glory for their relaunched website. And on June 5th, remember to visit Crimson Glory on Bandcamp. Go to bravewordsrecords.bandcamp.com on June 5th at 1 p.m. Eastern for a special listening party with Ben and the new singer Travis. Here, Chasing the Hydra in 24-bit, and it's a fun listening party. You should do one of those. Check it out. It's a lot of fun. You get to chat with the band and other fans and bang your head off. A link is on this interview's notes. Crimson Glory is also going to be hitting the road very shortly with a full run of dates in Europe starting June 12th in Santurce, Spain at the Cabby Fest 2026, June 12th through the 13th. There are more dates that will take them through various shows and festivals through Europe all the way through August 9th, where they will end up at Super Crew Regions 2026 in Germany. All the dates are on this interview's notes. And if you will be here in the United States, Crimson Glory will be making a triumphant return to Prague Power USA September 9th through the 12th, September 17th in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and September 17th through the 19th at the Blades of Steel Metal Festival. Check it out. And of course, check out Crimson Glory's back catalog as well. Always remember to make legitimate purchases of the music, merch, and tickets to support hardworking artists like Ben Jackson and those in Crimson Glory. Head on over to jacemediamusic.com for more interviews, reviews, and live coverage. And of course, I've got a ton of hard rock and metal musician interviews, including my all-time favorite metal singer, John Bush of Armored Saint and Category 7, Warlord and Alcatraz singer, Giles Lavery, guitar heroes like Herman Frank of Victory, and Soren Anderson, guitar player for Glenn Hughes, Philip Schaus of Accept, and Fate's Warning singer, Ray Alder, and members of Temptress, Avatarium, Captain Blackbeard, and more. Special thanks, as always, to our fantastic founder and publisher, Glenn, and all of my Jace Media colleagues. And of course, special thanks to you, the worldwide Jace Media music audience. Look for Jace Media on Facebook and X and Instagram and basically every social media channel you can think of. I am Justin Smolison, proud Jace Media contributor from across the pond. Thank you again for tuning in. Keep coming back to jacemediamusic.com. I've got more video interviews on the way.